Hi, I'm Jerome Ashton. I'm the managing editor of Bloomberg BNA's International Trade Reporter. I'm joined with Caitlin Weber, who's a trade analyst for Bloomberg Intelligence here in Washington. We wanted to talk for a few minutes about the Trans-Pacific Partnership and the impacts, one of the biggest international trade stories going at the moment. So Caitlin, maybe we could just start talking about the need for the president to hold together the business coalition, because that was the key to getting trade promotion authority. So it seems like an uphill climb at the moment, but you know.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think it's going to be an uphill climb. What was really striking to me last week when the deal was announced was the reaction from the business community to this landmark trade deal was really muted. And then from some sectors, pharma, biotech, traditionally very big free trade sectors, was, you know, almost dismissive.
Yeah.
And I think that was reflected in the reaction from members of Congress, particularly big free trade proponents like Orrin Hatch. Yeah, and so I think, you know, he got just a handful of Democrats for Trade Promotion Authority.
Right.
What do you think the chances are of him getting even any more than that?
Oh, tough. He should keep the New Democrat coalition, because again, their response has been muted, just like you said. But pulling in others when most of the Democrats seem to be opposed to this even going in, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. There has to be some details in the text once it's revealed that brings together, say, the Michigan coalition on autos, or the Ohio colleagues or something, where there's such a great deal for autos in Japan.
Right.
It has to be something like that in order to bring more Democrats to the table.
Absolutely agree.
But it looks doubtful.
Yeah, and the other big issue the president is going to face and TPP supporters are going to face is the really awkward timing that this will be considered, if it is indeed considered next year.
Right.
Which, you know, sometimes I'm a bit doubtful about. But, you know, it looks like if USTR, you know, is really sort of on track with dotting the I's and crossing the T's in terms of getting the final text done, abiding by all the, I think, pretty generous public transparency clauses and TPA, it seems like the earliest it would be done would be March. Which to me seems like pretty awkward timing and doesn't leave a lot of really room for error, and, you know, doesn't really leave a lot of time before elections, because the legislative calendar will be much shortened next year. What are your thoughts about kind of their room to maneuver in the calendar? I
agree with you. There's not a lot of room, and so I'm assuming that a lot of the lining up has been going on for the last month, as the deal seemed to be near a couple of times, and they were already shifting into that phase. But this is still a tough go with such a short calendar, other issues on the table, many issues on the table, and then going into the presidential debate. So the president and the business coalition, they've got the work cut out for them in order, because the voices we're hearing typically are the voices in opposition. Because you made a good point, the business community and the free traders in Congress, the response was pretty muted. So I think that's a very accurate description.
Yeah, and you brought up the presidential campaign. I mean, I think that's going to make what was already a really hard job almost Herculean.
Right.
I mean, trade in any other election is politically sensitive for both parties.
Right.
And this year, with the divide, even within each party over trade, you know, it's already become a big issue in debates. Candidates like Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush, who have been even sort of open to trade deals in the past, have been taken to task for that by you know, the other contenders. I think that is going to make it really tough, and I feel like the timing politically couldn't have been worse. I mean, I understand that the Obama administration wanted to finish this deal so that there was a chance to get it enacted before he leaves office, but I think that the presidential campaign, you know, is just going to politicize it that much more, and then it'll still be a very difficult. It'll be even more difficult of a vote for those Democrats who are traditionally skeptical. So
I agree 100%. And so we saw Hillary Clinton just last week come out and what seemed to be opposition, even though she left some wiggle room saying, based on what she knows at the moment, that this deal seems to have not met the high standard that she set out for it, that many have set out for it. So this is going to be interesting. The whole timing, and Bernie Sanders and the others who have come out in complete opposition, how this plays for Clinton and how it plays for the president to convince a reluctant audience that this is good.
Yeah.
Going with things in an election year, it should be fun.
Definitely be really fun to cover. Both Bloomberg Intelligence and
Right.
Bloomberg BNA
Yes.
will definitely be all over this. And so stay tuned to Bloomberg for as it all rolls out.